From athletes to authors, entertainers to innovators, we connect with those who help shape our culture. Join us in revealing stories of their lives and backgrounds, their triumphs and tragedies that molded them into who they are today. Authentically off-script and personally illuminating, this is Audibles with Jason Scarborough. This week on Audibles, Rick Black.
So Ackerman, Mississippi, that's where you were born and raised. So how would you describe growing up there in Ackerman?
Oh, a great community to grow up in. Most everybody there feels like they're related to you anyway. If you do anything wrong, they're going to get right back to your family. If you do anything right, they'll praise you for that. But, you know, a town is kind of politics and sports, especially football. Two governors from there originally, J.P. Coleman and Ray Mabus, of course, two diverse type governors at the same time, but a great community to grow up, great people. All of Choctaw County, that area is great and very supportive to every family.
How would you describe your childhood growing up?
Childhood, growing up was education and religion.
Okay.
Yes, belonging to a Cumberland Presbyterian church. My mother was the piano player at the church, and we did not have a piano in the house. So we'd have to go to church to practice. We did that. We never missed a service. If your mother's the only piano player, you don't miss a service. You get a lot of singing. But we never did grow up playing the piano ourselves, which was really I guess regretted that many years later. I wished I did have that skill, but it was a lot of community activity, but church. You went to church every time on Sundays, 2 times, 3 times on Sundays, midweek, all the time, choir rehearsals, everything, and a lot of revivals, because in Choctaw County, when somebody has a revival, you don't go to your church on Sunday night, you go to their revival. So Presbyterian, Baptist, Church of Christ, Methodist, all religions worship together.
How would you describe Ricky Black as a child growing up?
I guess you would look at him and just, what kind of direction was he? Always running around, a lot of activity. There's no telling what was going on, because I had 2 brothers, twin brothers, 1 year older than me. So they got most of the attention, because every time you go to a family reunion, where are the twins? Where are the twins, you know? And of course, I'm a year a little bit and smaller behind them. So a lot of that was left up. I would be kind of left alone sometimes for my own, what I was going to be doing. But I tell you, growing up in that situation, I tell people I was a privileged person, because hand-me-downs were a great thing back then. I had 2 of everything. I had 2 pair of shoes when my brothers outgrew those, of course, then shirts, pants. So I was privileged. I had 2 of everything. Sometimes I tell people hand-me-downs are somewhat like advice. It might look good on you, but it don't look too good on me. So
I don't know if I've ever heard that.
You took hand-me-downs as it came.
I've heard you say your father was probably the greatest influence on you in terms of your development and just overall influence. How would you describe the influence your father had on you?
Yes, Leonard Black was his name. He grew up on a farm. We were on a farm growing up. He was a carpenter by trade. Probably one of the smartest guys I know. I would say a guy with a lot of wisdom, not so much education. But he was a confident guy. And I look back on it, every time I played sports, I never remember my father say, "You should have done," or maybe the team should have, or the coach should have. He'd pick me up after the games, or we'd talk after the games, said, "Good game, team played well, let's go home and get ready to go to work tomorrow." It wasn't one of those things that he was wanting to correct. It was always very supportive, and it was all about the team, which I thought all parents were like that growing up, everything. Then 13 years later, family, we had a sister. So it was twins, me, and a sister. But growing up mostly, we spent most of the time working, really did. A lot of times on the farm, and then of course when we got a little bit older, we were driving a lot of nails.
Do you think those early lessons that, learning, growing up on a farm, that hard work mentality your dad passed down, that you drew from that later on in life, right?
Oh, yes. I think that was the greatest experience. And everybody you were associated with, they were in the same boat. Who had money? Well, very few people had money, but everybody was about the same. You grew up, you got what you needed. Your family was well enough. You're basically just surviving. Everybody was surviving. Heck, I picked up on a bus to ride to school every day. I lived 3 miles from school. Rode 19 to get to school.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, so we were the beginning of the route. So picked up early, then we got to know where everybody lived through those 12 years of school. And all of those things, few people had automobiles at that time. And you were learning how to survive, how to help your family. It was a unit, which is kind of different today. Back then, what you did as a family, you were kind of in business. Everybody worked for the business. You had to work to get food on the table. You had to work, make a little money. You had to work to go out and do things. So you were really running a small corporation of your family. And nowadays it's not quite the same. But when I was growing up, we'd be on a farm, we'd grow vegetables. And not a lot of people know this, but when I was growing up, I would be going from house to house. And my grandfather, he would go every Tuesday to Starkville. Well, we would deliver vegetables, and I would knock on doors every day, wanting to know if any of the household needed any vegetables. So we would sell them the produce from the farm every Tuesday. So door-to-door salesman. At the time, I didn't enjoy that very much, but you look back, every experience you have is a leading experience. It leads you somewhere. And my family and relatives, we all grew up in the church and understanding the importance of worship. And everything you prayed for was that everything you did, you wanted to be for the glory of God. Then at the same time, you might have a plan, but if that plan is not God's plan, it's not going to work. So prayer was a big part of our family.
Don't go anywhere. Audibles returns in a moment here on the Spirit Media Network.
During times of uncertainty, it's comforting to know we have a healthcare system in our community that's been committed to supporting us for well over a century. In this current time, we are standing together, and our bond is stronger than ever. KDMC, caring for our community like no one else can.
Hey sports fans, before traveling to your game day destination this football season, be sure to download the M.Traffic app to help you reach the game safely. With just the touch of a finger, you can see road conditions as well as receive traffic alerts along your route. You can even stay up to date with alerts based on your specific route to the game. The M.Traffic app is available free for both Apple and Android devices. For more information, follow @Mississippi DOT on Facebook and Twitter.
At Forest General Hospital, we have the playbook for helping patients every day, every season. Our team is here to ensure patients receive safe and reliable medical care. Our mission and game plan is to do what is best for our patients. Our lineup of skilled healthcare professionals, together with advanced technology and treatment options, set Forest General apart. We are here to help you make winning decisions when it comes to your health. For more information about our services, visit forestgeneral.com.
From tablets to drones, even tractors with their own computers. As a farm family of Mississippi, we use the latest technology to get the most out of our land, growing acres of rice, soybeans, and corn. These digital tools help us map out where to plant and harvest. They manage our farmland from a bird's eye view and even tell us the right amount of water to use.
It's a smarter way to farm, providing for our family and yours, the farm families of Mississippi. Family owned and operated since 1986, Lakeside Molding has become the trusted source of architectural products throughout the South. They offer fine interior architectural moldings, custom millwork, and cabinet doors designed and handcrafted in Flowwood. Their showroom on Lakeland Drive is stocked with today's most sought-after interior details, including corbels, post, fireplace mantles, bath vanities, mirrors, and much more. Tim Shoemaker and his staff work closely to meet client needs for new construction, restoration, and remodeling projects. Lakeside Molding, where details make the difference.
How local is Bank Plus? We're here, and here. And we're with you here, and here. Wherever, whenever you need us. We make our banking decisions right here because local means more than a location. It means a commitment to deliver more for our customers and our communities. Your bank, your plus, Bank Plus.
Was there something not involving sports? Obviously, sports was such a big part of your life, but was there something not involving sports when you were growing up that you said, okay, that's what I want to be when I grow up? Was there anything that pulled you maybe in another direction not involving sports?
I always wanted to be the sheriff.
Really?
Oh, yeah, Choctaw County. Well, hey, he's the biggest, meanest guy in the county. We'll tell you, he's the law enforcement. So, but then I got off that quick.
Why?
Well, there's some things came up, politics and everything else, but that lifestyle's not going to make it. So then I would maybe be a lawyer, something like that. But, going back, talk about education. What we do early in life sometimes influences what we do later, and it does a lot of times. But I look back, my education, I know first grade, our teacher, I said, wow, let's see, I wonder what that lady's doing with all of those girls on that other side of the room. They must be doing something up there different than we are, because we're just sitting at the table back here with about 4 or 5 of us, and I wonder what she's doing with them. Well, the next year I go to the second grade, and the teacher, wow, I wonder why she doesn't ever come to school. Her mother comes and teaches for her every day. She must not like us too much. In education, people don't understand there's so many changes. There's so many changes in education. People say education stays the same. No, it changes a lot. Even the grading scales. We've been on grading scales through education from where you get a 1, 2, or 3, or 4, or maybe you get 5, 6, 8. You could get S for satisfactory, E for excellent, and U for unsatisfactory. But in the second grade, I saw a report card, and I saw a bunch of E's on that report card. I said, what the heck is that? What's an E? All I ever get's an S. I didn't know they even had another grading scale. Just I never had any E over there. So then I go to the third grade. In that third grade, I'm looking up, I see the blackboard, and I see all these letters across there, and I can remember where I'm sitting right now today. There was a doorway, and I'm about number 6 down the aisle on the wall, and I'm looking up. I said, I probably need to learn those letters one of these days. I'm in the third grade. I said, okay, the alphabet just hit me. The third grade, okay, great deal here, man, third grade. I need to learn those letters. And I move on, and our school combines with other small schools in Choctaw County, and then we get into smaller classes. This again goes back to what education over the years. Mm-hmm. You go from large classes to maybe 20 to 25 at the most. I guess about 10 years ago, I looked back in the yearbook when I was in the third grade, there were 45 students and 1 teacher.
Wow.
Well, great goodness, no wonder. She'd have to be an unbelievable teacher, and we would have to be unbelievable students for all of us to get any education in that classroom. It really has. And I look back on that experience and I say, education is so important. And one of the things that I've talked with teachers about before, and my philosophy is, don't let ignorance outsmart you. Mm-hmm. Don't let ignorance outsmart you. I said, because when we're teaching, we're not just teaching one way to affect one student. We're teaching in a bunch of ways to affect everybody. You can't come in and say, well, that kid can't learn. Well, have you used 4 or 5 different techniques to teach him? Don't just use one technique, because there's a battle out there between ignorance and intelligence. So you're on the battle. If you're teaching it, you're fighting ignorance, because there's a resistance sometimes. It's not talking about they can't learn. There's just a resistance. Fight through that resistance. Because I look back at my education, I needed somebody to fight through the ignorance part I was playing. And finally I found those teachers in the 5th grade that finally caught on to what kind of a student I was, and they were able to teach me, and I felt like, hey, once I graduated, I graduated number 6 in our class, so something happened to me during that time, which a teacher found out exactly what could connect with me, and that's what education has got to be about. Everybody has the ability to learn. We've just got to find the correct method to teach them.
Don't go anywhere. Audibles returns in a moment here on the Spirit Media Network.
Hello, I'm Gary Jolly from the Tractor Store in Richland. Now's the best time of the year to save more with Mahindra, and it all starts with zero. Pay zero down and 0% interest up to 60 months. That's more for less on many of Mahindra's best-selling models, with tractors that deliver more lift, capacity, fuel efficiency, and built-in weight. So get zero down, 0% interest for up to 60 months on Mahindra, the world's #1 selling tractor, Mahindra, available at the Tractor Store in Richland.
Hey sports fans, this football season, MDOT wants to ensure you get to your game day destination safely. So before you hit the road to watch your favorite team, be sure to download the MDOT Traffic app. The MDOT Traffic app is free for both Apple and Android devices. And remember to drive smart on the way to the game. That means buckling up, obeying the speed limit, and avoiding distracted driving, especially when traveling in work zones. For more information, follow @Mississippi DOT on Facebook and Twitter.
I can totally see us cooking in this kitchen.
I can totally see us cooking like pros with natural gas.
Oh, I would love to soak in that tub.
I'd love to save energy and money with a natural gas water heater.
I can imagine cuddling up in here.
Because natural gas heating keeps the house comfortable when we need it.
We have to get this house.
We have to get natural gas.
We're investing in infrastructure to help bring comfort and savings to you. Visit centerpointenergy.com/natural gas benefits. CenterPoint Energy, always there.
We hope you're enjoying Audibles with Jason Scarborough. Watch every full, unedited episode via our digital platforms. Download our free Roku TV channel simply by searching for Audibles on your Roku device. Look us up on our YouTube channel too under Spirit Media Network and hit subscribe. And enjoy episodes of Audibles along with our other original content. Bookmark our website at spiritmedianet.com and stay up to date on what's happening on the Spirit Media Network, where we're changing the game.
The COVID vaccines are here.
Know the facts.
Get the shot. End the pandemic.
The vaccines are proven safe and effective.
The vaccine does not contain COVID.
Nor will it give you COVID.
Side effects are relatively minor.
Arm pain, fatigue, and low-grade fever.
COVID-19 vaccine protects you
and those you love.
As healthcare workers,
we're setting the example
for our patients and our community.
This is your shot.
Schedule your COVID-19 vaccine today.
Serving clients in Mississippi and the Deep South, Warren Brothers Media provides endless solutions for you. From wedding videography, social media advertising and promotion, photography, video production, and much more, Zach and Zane Warren walk with you every step of the way to meet your individual need. Contact Warren Brothers Media to get started on your project today by logging on to warrenbrothersmedia.com. Warren Brothers Media. Brothers serving others.
So 7th grade, you really started to immerse yourself in the game of football. In 8th grade, you're the quarterback. Tell me about that experience becoming the quarterback for your football team and how that came to pass.
Well, 7th grade was the first time I played really any organized team sports, and of course 7th grade I played tight end at that time, a defensive end, but when it came to the 8th grade year, somebody had to play quarterback. Mm-hmm. So I tried out for quarterback, won that position, and really enjoyed playing quarterback. Really enjoyed the part of the game that was the quarterback's responsibility, not only athletic part of it, but the mentality part of it and the leadership part about it. So I felt comfortable playing that position. Back then, even from the junior high to the high school level, the quarterback on the team called a lot of the plays. The coach didn't send plays in from the sideline. The quarterback would call the plays himself. So that was exciting for me too. And of course, mixing that with all the football that you would watch on TV, of course, now I'm just getting a TV in my life at about when I'm in the second or third grade. So that was a gradual process itself too. But you were saying there might be one pro game on a week, one college game on a week, and that's about it, all you would see. So the rest of it was your attendance to high school football, and high school football was huge. All communities, it was rivals. You played close teams, you played teams at a distance, you played everybody. Teams 3 times the size of you. There was kind of no classification at that time, it was conferences. So you could be playing the school that was 3 times as big as you, or you could be playing one that was maybe even smaller than you. So it was a lot of different competition, and it wasn't classified. It was just, if you were close by, you played.
So you finish at Ackerman, you go on to Holmes Community College. You have a productive career there, and I heard in another interview you talked about how those 2 years really helped develop you in terms of becoming a stronger person. What did you mean by that? How did that help you become stronger, a stronger player, stronger person?
Well, I think growing up in a community like Ackerman, it's very involved in the community. Everybody feels the same way, everybody has the same loyalty, and everybody same respect. It's kind of all one unit. Well, then you go off to college and you run into these different types of communities, or different type personalities, or different type value systems. So that was a huge change. But at the same time, it got to where you could develop yourself and the team as a group, bringing all those different individuals together. And I thought that was one of the biggest things. And plus, it's a different coaching style in college. It's a different attitude in college. So you've got to prove yourself in a lot of different ways. And one of the things I go back and tell any of our guys that would play college football, don't try to figure out what the coaches are thinking. College coaches are going to think a little bit different than high school coaches. There's going to be totally different involvement. They might be thinking about something totally different than you are. So don't be trying to figure out, if you got a problem, ask them. Don't be trying to figure out the coaches. But I thought my experience at Holmes, 2 great years at Holmes, I would recommend anybody playing junior college football, community college football. It was 2 great years, met a lot of friends there, and of course met my wife there, which was a great thing and a big part of my life.
So you go on, you finish at Mississippi State, and then you start your coaching career. You come back to Ackerman as an assistant coach, and then make the transition to Kosciuszko. Was that hard to leave your hometown and really take your first big job, so to speak, at Kosciuszko?
Well, it really was. It was very hard to do that. It was kind of hard to leave playing football too at Holmes. Then for the next 2 years, I went to Mississippi State, was not playing. Linda and I got married during that time, and I went to school, and she went to work supporting me. Basically, that's what it was. And so those 2 years, and I worked kind of as a volunteer with Ackerman during that time, and I was calling high school basketball games at that time too, because I played basketball when I was in high school. Also played all sports, so that was quite a learning experience to me, being an official in basketball. So I did that during that time. Then I graduated from Mississippi State, and then Art Nestor was a head coach there, and I coached it 1 year with them. We had a very good season that year, and he was offered the job as a head coach at Kosciuszko, and I was assistant for 1 year. And then I decided to join him. He offered me a job there too. So we went down there and worked. And during that time, I was offered the job at Ackerman, but I knew really at that time I wasn't really ready to do that. And it goes back to belief, everything goes back, what's God's plan for you? And God's plan for me at that time was not to be a head coach, and it was not to do that. It was to go on and get some more experience. So went to Kosciuszko, and couldn't have had a better time, couldn't have been a better time to be at Kosciuszko. Great football town, great community, loved it there, and we found a lot of support there for the football team, and really fortunate for me, ran into a lot of good athletes.
Don't go anywhere. Audibles returns in a moment here on the Spirit Media Network.
Hey sports fans, before traveling to your game day destination this football season, be sure to download the M.Traffic app to help you reach the game safely. With just the touch of a finger, you can see road conditions as well as receive traffic alerts along your route. You can even stay up to date with alerts based on your specific route to the game. The M.Traffic app is available free for both Apple and Android devices. For more information, follow @Mississippi DOT on Facebook and Twitter.
At Forest General Hospital, we have the playbook for helping patients every day, every season. Our team is here to ensure patients receive safe and reliable medical care. Our mission and game plan is to do what is best for our patients. Our lineup of skilled healthcare professionals, together with advanced technology and treatment options, set Forest General apart. We are here to help you make winning decisions when it comes to your health. For more information about our services, visit forestgeneral.com.
This piece of land allows us to grow row after row of corn, cotton, and soybeans. That's why, as a farm family of Mississippi, we do our best to take care of this land. Water conservation, improvements in soil health, and reducing our carbon footprint, all to grow the best products we can. It's just how we do things around here, providing for our family and yours, the farm families of Mississippi.
Family owned and operated since 1986, Lakeside Molding has become the trusted source of architectural products throughout the South. They offer fine interior architectural moldings, custom millwork, and cabinet doors designed and handcrafted in Flowwood. Their showroom on Lakeland Drive is stocked with today's most sought-after interior details, including corbels, post, fireplace mantles, bath vanities, mirrors, and much more. Tim Shoemaker and his staff work closely to meet client needs for new construction, restoration, and remodeling projects. Lakeside Molding, where details make the difference.
How local is Bank Plus? We're here, and here. And we're with you here, and here. Wherever, whenever you need us. We make our banking decisions right here because local means more than a location. It means a commitment to deliver more for our customers and our communities. Your bank, your plus. Bank Plus.
The COVID vaccines are here.
Know the facts.
Get the shot. End the pandemic.
The vaccines are proven safe
and effective.
Vaccine does not contain COVID,
nor will it give you COVID.
Side effects are relatively minor and include
arm pain, fatigue, and low-grade fever.
The COVID-19 vaccine protects you
and the ones you love.
As healthcare workers, we're setting the example for our patients
and community.
This is your shot. Schedule your COVID-19 vaccine today.
Then you have another decision to make because Tupelo comes a-calling, and you got to make another decision. So here you are again having to make a difficult decision, but Tupelo's a bigger school. Weren't really the Tupelo we know now at the time, and you had a decision to make. So what all went into that decision process to go to Tupelo?
Really, that's a very tough decision, very tough. And I want to go back, the only time I ever got a raise moving was leaving Ackerman to Kosciuszko. And people probably can't understand that, but got a small raise to do that. But then spent 5 years as a head coach at Kosciuszko and had some great teams there and some really great players, great support. We had just bought a house. People were so supportive. Linda was head of the Chamber of Commerce there, and we were redoing the house. My father was coming down with his contracting crew and redoing the house, and we were just getting started renewing, and Tupelo called. Okay. Good opportunity we think, with a lot of upsides, but no job for my wife. It's a pay cut. It's hard to believe that Kosciuszko was paying more than Tupelo did, but that was the case. And bought a house we hadn't moved into. A lot of things said don't do this, but again, the plan was to go. So we go to Tupelo, and a very tough job there. Very tough job. A very great community, very supportive, but it wasn't the same that I was used to in Kosciuszko, where football was king. In Tupelo, football was another thing. It wasn't a king. It was just another one of the things people were doing. I mean, Linda and I would be invited to parties on Friday. I said, we're coaching on Friday. Oh, so okay, that's, you know, you wouldn't be invited to any parties at Kosciuszko on Friday, but Tupelo football was not one of the biggest things there. So we knew we had some work to do there. Started off, won 8 games that first year, then we went through a little bit of lull. Then we started really putting together a good football team. I know one of the, I guess, funniest things was Linda would come to practice and she said, well, I saw you at practice today. I said, yes, I saw you on the hill too, looking over the field. She said, I saw you at practice today. I said, yes, I saw you up there. She said, let me tell you what I'm talking about. At Kosciuszko, when you got all the guys around you, I never saw you. When I get to Tupelo, all the guys get around you, I still see you. We're not very big, are we? I said, no, we're not. We're not. We had one guy weighed over 200 pounds that first year I was there, and he quit. And so we started from that. Our nose guard weighed 145, defensive end weighed 145. We were very small people. And my whole football teaching philosophy had to change from a wishbone where we were blowing them off the line of scrimmage to a lot of different things to try to fool people and move the football in a different way. So, yes. And your ego takes a beating at that time too, because I thought Kosciuszko football was really good because of Ricky Black. Kosciuszko football was really good because of the players. That's the basic of any team. It's the players. Yes, the intelligence of the coach really rises with the better players you have.
All right, so people always love when I do this, when I read off how successful they were somewhere. They really love this. You go 89-31 at Tupelo. You win 7 consecutive district crowns. You're named MAC High School Athletic Director of the Year, 81 and 88. And you take Tupelo to their first state title game in 1990. That was their first on record since 1923, by the way, at the time. What comes to your mind when you hear that now?
Well, it comes to the mind that there's a lot of work involved in this. People don't understand what it takes to run a football program. They really don't. You get a program like that, I can remember my wife saying, you're totally consumed with football. You're totally consumed with it. No, I'm not. I said, I'm with you some. She said, yeah, you're with me some. I said, well, I'm with you on Saturday and Sunday. She said, well, maybe a half a day on Saturday. But Sunday, let's see. We go to church, you teach a junior high Sunday school class, and you usher during church. I go to adult class and sit in the pews. We're together, right? I said, no, that's not. And she said, it's 7 days a week. And I look back on that and said, she's totally correct. Everything I do, it totally consumes you. When you're an athletic director of a big school like Tupelo, any 6A school, you're totally consumed with it. Everything you do is basically that. Because you get all of the complaints, you get all the phone calls. And of course, at that time, we weren't getting emails and all the other social media type. But when you're talking about trying to deal with 30 different sports as an athletic director and then deal with a football team, also, it just totally consumes you. So the biggest thing I look back, all the coaches that spend all the time working to make that successful. It's a lot of work to do that. It's the administrators. Everybody has to be pulling in the same direction to make that successful. So it's not an easy job. It's a very difficult job. Even going back when I was at Kosciuszko, some guy once asked me, said, how do you compare your job at Mississippi State with the toughest part you had before? I said, at Mississippi State, I coached 5 guys to play tight end and I recruit. At Kosciuszko, I taught 5 classes, was the only 7th grade coach for a football team, was the running back and the quarterback coach for the high school football team. As soon as that was over, I coached basketball. I was the only coach in basketball. And when that was over, I coached track. I was the only coach for boys track. And then, of course, I helped with spring football. Now, that was a tough job. Coaching 5 guys to play tight end, recruit, that wasn't too bad.
Don't go anywhere. Audibles returns in a moment here on the Spirit Media Network.
Hello, I'm Gary Jolly from the Tractor Store in Richland. Now's the best time of the year to save more with Mahindra, and it all starts with zero. Pay zero down and 0% interest up to 60 months. That's more for less on many of Mahindra's best-selling models, with tractors that deliver more lift, capacity, fuel efficiency, and built-in weight. So get zero down, 0% interest for up to 60 months on Mahindra, the world's #1 selling tractor, Mahindra, available at the Tractor Store in Richland.
Hey sports fans, this football season, MDOT wants to ensure you get to your game day destination safely. So before you hit the road to watch your favorite team, be sure to download the MDOT Traffic app. The MDOT Traffic app is free for both Apple and Android devices. And remember to drive smart on the way to the game. That means buckling up, obeying the speed limit, and avoiding distracted driving, especially when traveling in work zones. For more information, follow at Mississippi DOT on Facebook and Twitter.
When it comes to cooking meals, drying clothes, heating water, and my home, nothing beats natural gas from CenterPoint Energy. It's my most affordable energy option. It costs less to use than electricity, propane, and heating oil. So if you already have natural gas, keep it. If you're replacing an appliance, choose it. Natural gas, your best choice. Safe and affordable, rest assured.
For more on the benefits of a natural gas home, visit centerpointenergy.com/natural gas benefits. CenterPoint Energy, always there.
We hope you're enjoying Audibles with Jason Scarborough. Watch every full, unedited episode via our digital platforms. Download our free Roku TV channel simply by searching for Audibles on your Roku device. Look us up on our YouTube channel too under Spirit Media Network and hit subscribe. And enjoy episodes of Audibles along with our other original content. Bookmark our website at spiritmedianet.com and stay up to date on what's happening on the Spirit Media Network, where we're changing the game.
During times of uncertainty, it's comforting to know we have a healthcare system in our community that's been committed to supporting us for well over a century. In this current time, we are standing together, and our bond is stronger than ever. KDMC, caring for our community like no one else can.
Serving clients in Mississippi and the Deep South, Warren Brothers Media provides endless solutions for you. From wedding videography, social media advertising and promotion, photography, video production, and much more, Zach and Zane Warren walk with you every step of the way to meet your individual need. Contact Warren Brothers Media to get started on your project today by logging on to warrenbrothersmedia.com. Warren Brothers Media, brothers serving others.
So you have all this success at Tupelo, and then you get a call in '91 from Coach Jackie Sherrill at Mississippi State. I think I heard you say that at first when the call came, you were like, "Yeah, right."
Oh yeah,
you didn't even believe it.
Oh yeah, because we just went to the state championship. That was the first time Tupelo had been to the state championship since it was revised in 1982, and coming off of a great season, having a lot of good players coming back, and and so one Sunday afternoon, I get a call, said, "This is Jackie Sherrill." I said, "Sure it is." "Okay, go ahead." And it was Jackie, and we talked. Then I went down for an interview, and we went through the interview process and everything. And then it was a tough decision, really was. I've been at Tupelo for 11 football seasons. It was like I said, it was a tough, grueling schedule, full time. And my daughter had graduated from high school at that time, and she was at Mississippi State. And Lynn and I discussed it at length over and over again with our friends and our coaching friends there. And we decided if Jackie Sherrill offered the job, we'd take it. So he called back, and I said, give me one more day to think about it, Coach. So he gave me one more day, and I said, okay, we're coming. So we took the job in January, and we were on the first staff. He was coming to Mississippi and hiring a coach out of the high school ranks. So I went there and joined a very good coaching staff. Good guys there.
Yeah, that experience in Mississippi State, I've always wanted to ask you how that helped you going forward. You know, for your next coaching job at Jackson Prep, being on a college staff, that had to improve your skills even more. How did you take in all the information and all the things you learned at Mississippi State?
Well, Well, it's just like everything else. Once you go through that experience, what did you capture from that was good, and what did you capture from that really wasn't so good? You know, in that situation, you learn what to do and what not to do sometimes. And in situations, you've got to be in a learning curve. You always don't want to be the teacher. How boring would it be if you were always the teacher? You would like to be learning. You'd like to be learning at the same time. So in this situation, this was a great opportunity to learn from guys that had been around for a while in coaching. And I did learn a lot on the offensive side and the defensive side, and a lot on the organization, the part about it, and how to handle it and deal with young men at a different age level and a different group setting. And it was a great experience. Linda and I really enjoyed those 6 years we were there at Mississippi State, and had some great time, great wins, and winning the games against Alabama, playing Ole Miss on the campus again for the first time in many years. All of those experiences were really great, and my experience with dealing with all different kind of coaches from Jackie Sherrill, Bruce Arians, and all through that time, great coaching experience, and we really loved it.
Well, then in '97, you've got yet another decision to make. Jackson Prep comes a-calling. They want you to come back to the high school ranks and be the head coach. What made you, or did you ever feel like, whatever told you, we're going to be a really great fit? Was there something that told you that you might be a great fit at Jackson Prep, or what made it make sense to you to go to Jackson Prep?
Really, I did. I did not know that much about Jackson Prep at that time. Growing up in Mississippi, coaching in the public schools for 20 years, in that experience, I really didn't know anything about the private school business. And of course, growing up in the public school, it was kind of almost your enemy, that they're out there, they're doing a service of education. You are too, but it's kind of different. So you go through that, and one of our coaches that they'd recruited there said, it's a good school. You need to really seriously think about it, possibly doing that. And I said, okay, I'll do it. And again, being led to do that, it was not quite my plan. It wasn't quite the plan that we had in mind at the time. So, okay, we'll do this. Let's see if we can do this for a while and see how it turns out. We'll try this a couple of years and see. And it was a great fit. It was a great relationship. It's some of the greatest people I've met, and the different opinions. You know, you're coming into Jackson Prep, your perception of what Jackson Prep was from the outside as to what it is inside. My whole perception had changed, and I was wrong about a lot of things. And dealing with Jackson Prep, it was one of the greatest things, and coaching there was one of the greatest experiences I've ever had.
Don't go anywhere. Audibles returns in a moment here on the Spirit Media Network.
Hey sports fans, before traveling to your game day destination this football season, be sure to download the M.Traffic app to help you reach the game safely. With just the touch of a finger, you can see road conditions as well as receive traffic alerts along your route. You can even stay up to date with alerts based on your specific route to the game. The M.Traffic app is available free for both Apple and Android devices. For more information, follow @Mississippi DOT on Facebook and Twitter.
At Forest General Hospital, we have the playbook for helping patients every day, every season. Our team is here to ensure patients receive safe and reliable medical care. Our mission and game plan is to do what is best for our patients. Our lineup of skilled healthcare professionals, together with advanced technology and treatment options, set Forest General apart. We are here to help you make winning decisions when it comes to your health. For more information about our services, visit forestgeneral.com.
This piece of land allows us to grow row after row of corn, cotton, and soybeans. That's why, as a farm family of Mississippi, we do our best to take care of this land. Water conservation, improvements in soil health, and reducing our carbon footprint, all to grow the best products we can. It's just how we do things around here, providing for our family and yours, the farm families of Mississippi.
Family owned and operated since 1986, Lakeside Molding has become the trusted source of architectural products throughout the South. They offer fine interior architectural moldings, custom millwork, and cabinet doors designed and handcrafted in Flowwood. Their showroom on Lakeland Drive is stocked with today's most sought-after interior details, including corbels, post, fireplace mantles, bath vanities, mirrors, and much more. Tim Shoemaker and his staff work closely to meet client needs for new construction, restoration, and remodeling projects. Lakeside Molding, where details make the difference.
How local is Bank Plus? We're here, and here. And we're with you here, and here. Wherever, whenever you need us. We make our banking decisions right here because local means more than a location. It means a commitment to deliver more for our customers and our communities. Your bank, your plus. Bank Plus.
The COVID vaccines are here.
Know the facts.
Get the shot. End the pandemic.
The vaccines are proven
Safe and effective.
The vaccine does not contain COVID.
Nor will it give you COVID.
Side effects are relatively minor.
Arm pain, fatigue, and low-grade fever.
COVID-19 vaccine protects you
And those you love. As healthcare workers,
We're setting the example.
for our patients and our community.
This is your shot.
Schedule your COVID-19 vaccine today.
Well, you're off and running at Jackson Prep. You win your first 10 games. I'm going to read to you again. People love when I do this. Here's a snapshot of what your career at Prep was. 263 wins, 44 losses, an 86% winning percentage, 13 state championships in 24 seasons. You won a Mississippi record 7 consecutive state titles from 2012 to 2018. You were named the National High School Coaches Association National Coach of the Year in 2018, inducted into the Mississippi Sports Hall of Fame in 2019. You won your 400th career game while at Prep in October of 2020, which makes you only the second high school football coach in history in Mississippi to win 400 games. All right, so I've known you for a while now, so I know kind of where you might go with responding to that. You're one of the most humble guys I've ever met, but when you hear all that now, you've got to take a great sense of pride in knowing what all you and your staff accomplished at Prep.
Yeah, but just a quick detour from that. If students ask me, say, what's the best thing on TV today? I say the best thing on TV today is commercials. The commercials can get done in 5 or 10 seconds, what everybody's trying to do. They go communicate with you, and they got a great message for you. The commercial, now, going back to commercial, ain't me. Nobody can do that. That ain't me. You know, what these commercials, I don't know what it is, but you know, that ain't me.
Yeah.
Well, that's hard to believe. No, that's not. It never get into this thinking that you're going to do that. You get into this the same way I did with the great coaches I had. You got into coaching because you wanted to coach the kids, make a difference, and win some games maybe. And you wanted to coach the whole person, not just coach a guy how to play football, how to play basketball, how to run track, how to play tennis or anything. You got into to coach the individual. How good is he going to be? And that's what you get into. These numbers really don't mean anything. You look back and say, oh gosh, that's it. We coach everybody. I've coached guys that have been in the highest in their field of profession. I've coached guys that have been the lowest. I've coached guys that sold drugs. I've coached guys that domestic violence. I've coached guys that even murdered. And I feel responsible for all of those guys. You know, you see a coach, oh, well, this is a guy I coach right here. Well, that's good. He was successful. You succeeded there. But if you didn't succeed, you got to feel responsible for that guy too. And that's the way I feel about it. Everything or everybody I coach, I feel responsible for what you get out of that. And I tell my players, and in kind of a sarcastic way, is I've done my best job of coaching when you can honestly say with full confidence, Coach, I don't need you anymore. Now, I've done a great job of coaching. You don't need me to teach you how to block or how to hand the ball off, how to throw the ball. I don't need you to teach me how to make the correct decisions. I got this now. So if you can confident and say it with assurance, that I don't need you anymore, that's the greatest compliment you could give me as a coach. I've done my job.
40 seasons as a head coach. Now, when you left prep earlier this year, you were quoted as saying, I'm not retiring, rather I'm going to look for another roof to repair while the sun is shining. I love that quote, by the way. Is that quote still true? You still want to look for another roof to repair?
Oh, I feel that way. I feel that way today.
Yeah.
I feel that way anytime anybody mentions a job, anyone mentions something to do. I do think, again, being led by God this past year has been the greatest thing. His leadership and his direction has been better than anything I could have designed. It is. And I give all the glory to God for his plan, because his plan is greater than mine. I feel like when the opportunity is there, when it's good for me, when it's good for the school, then we're going to match up. There's still some enthusiasm here. I'm not coaching to win another game. I want to be coaching. I want to be coaching a group of young men. I want to be coaching for the same effect that I got out of coaches that coached me. And that's why I coach, is because I was led by guys that did a great job of coaching. And I want to be just like those old coaches that were leading me. And I'm still looking for that group to say, hey, Coach, we got this. We don't need you anymore.
Don't go anywhere. Audibles returns in a moment here on the Spirit Media Network.
Hello, I'm Gary Jolly from the Tractor Store in Richland. Now's the best time of the year to save more with Mahindra, and it all starts with zero. Pay zero down and 0% interest up to 60 months. That's more for less on many of Mahindra's best-selling models, with tractors that deliver more lift, capacity, fuel efficiency, and built-in weight. So get zero down, 0% interest for up to 60 months on Mahindra, the world's #1 selling tractor, Mahindra, available at the Tractor Store in Richland.
Hey sports fans, this football season, MDOT wants to ensure you get to your game day destination safely. So before you hit the road to watch your favorite team, be sure to download the MDOT Traffic app. The MDOT Traffic app is free for both Apple and Android devices. And remember to drive smart on the way to the game. That means buckling up, obeying the speed limit, and avoiding distracted driving, especially when traveling in work zones. For more information, follow at Mississippi DOT on Facebook and Twitter.
I can totally see us cooking in this kitchen.
I can totally see us cooking like pros with natural gas.
Oh, I would love to soak in that tub.
I'd love to save energy and money with a natural gas water heater.
I can imagine cuddling up in here.
Because natural gas heating keeps the house comfortable when we need it.
We have to get this house.
We have to get natural gas.
We're investing in infrastructure to help bring comfort and savings to you. Visit centerpointenergy.com/natural gas benefits. CenterPoint Energy, always there.
We hope you're enjoying Audibles with Jason Scarborough. Watch every full, unedited episode via our digital platforms. Download our free Roku TV channel simply by searching for Audibles on your Roku device. Look us up on our YouTube channel too under Spirit Media Network and hit subscribe. And enjoy episodes of Audibles along with our other original content. Bookmark our website at spiritmedianet.com and stay up to date on what's happening on the Spirit Media Network, where we're changing the game.
The COVID vaccines are here.
Know the facts.
Get the shot.
End the pandemic. The vaccines are proven safe
and effective.
Vaccine does not contain COVID.
Nor will it give you COVID.
Side effects are relatively minor and include
arm pain, fatigue, and low-grade fever.
The COVID-19 vaccine protects you
and the ones you love.
As healthcare workers, we're setting the example for our patients
and community.
This is your shot.
Schedule your COVID-19 vaccine today.
Serving clients in Mississippi and the Deep South, Warren Brothers Media provides endless solutions for you. From wedding videography, social media advertising and promotion, photography, video production, and much more, Zach and Zane Warren walk with you every step of the way to meet your individual need. Contact Warren Brothers Media to get started on your project today by logging on to warrenbrothersmedia.com. Warren Brothers Media. Brothers serving others.
And speaking of God's plan, Miss Linda, your sweet wife, she was quoted as saying she truly believes that you're doing exactly what God's created you to do when it comes to coaching. When you hear that from your wife, who's never missed a game, by the way, never left a game early either, What do you think when you hear that your wife is quoted as saying that?
Well, I feel like she is very dedicated to me, and I think, hey, if anybody knows me better than anybody else, it's her. Mm-hmm. We've been married for over 50 years, and I got to give it to her. She's probably the smartest. Well, she is the smartest and has the most wisdom of anybody I know, and she helps me so much. But to be as dedicated as she has been for 50 years, she never missed a game coaching. And that's through college and through high school, assistants and everything for 50 years. And people don't understand it's not easy to make those college games sometimes, because she would have to be part of a group that would maybe lease a 4-seater to go to a game in South Carolina, because the school doesn't supply transportation for wives, or travel in a van for 12 hours to a place. So, yeah, that's a lot of dedication, and that's a lot of love. Now, she's not a sports fan. Some people think she's a sports nut, everything. No, honestly, only reason she goes is because of me, and that's it. And I appreciate her for that, because it's not that she loves the sports. It's because she has shown her appreciation and love for me, and I hope I've come through in some ways to show my appreciation to her.
I've always wanted to ask you this next question, going back to the days when you and I used to do radio interviews together. What do you do when you're just winding down to relax? What's Ricky Black like at home? I mean, what do you do just to chill out? What's your go-to?
Well, Ricky Black and Linda Black have been putting out Christmas decorations almost full time for about 4 days now. We've got a lot of Christmas decorations, and we like to put those out. And Linda, she's an artist, and she loves making Christmas ornaments and Christmas decorations, and she paints sometimes, but we put all of this out. Our house looks just like it's an explosion of glitter. It's just out there, and I love it. She loves it. We love Christmas. But most of the time when I'm at home, we're doing projects together. We're working together, doing certain projects, and of course I've still got my handyman skills from growing up in a carpentry family. So we work around the house, but we spend most of that time together, because for so many years, and I think that's what's been so great this year for me, is I think it's been a godsend, because my wife's getting better looking every day. She's getting wiser every day. She's great to be around every day. So, hey, I kind of like being with her. I really do. I've enjoyed that.
All right, so I got to ask you, if we get, and I'm asking you this too, because I remember one time you called in, we had you on my old Friday Night End Zone show, and the music we were playing, you made a compliment about it. You said, hey, I don't know who's picking the music, but whoever's doing it, great job. So you love good music. So I got to know, if we're getting in your car or truck, are we listening to a podcast? What kind of music are we listening to? What are we listening to?
Well, you're not listening to music. You really listen to Moody. Because I don't listen to music in my truck, because I like to use that time as some thinking most of the time. But I like all kinds of music. If it's good, if it's rap music, I enjoy that. I like hard rock music, metal, religious music, quartets. Any of that music is fine. And that's how I think watching The Voice on TV. You get all kinds there. I'm not really particular to one kind. But I do. I enjoy music. But, the biggest thing in all of this coaching experience and all of life and dealing with people, I want my players and everybody I've been around, that understanding is the greatest thing in the world. Understanding. Now, you're talking about music. Ray Charles, 66 or 67, had a song out called Understanding. Mm-hmm. I'm sure you don't understand that.
Oh, I love Ray Charles.
But you weren't born in 66.
No, I was not.
Okay.
No, sir.
Well, that's like a lot of things in my life. It's like a lot of things in other people's life. What happened there? I'm listening to Understanding. I said, how could that be a great song? Understanding. How could that? Well, I'm a teenager. I'm out working on a job. And of course, Ode to Billy Joe was coming on at the same time. I never got quite to that one. Billy Joe McAllister, why he jumped off the Tallahatchie Bridge. But understanding stood with me, and that's taken me all the way into coaching. And that's what I tell players. In this song, Ray Charles writes, understanding is the greatest thing in the world. Understanding is understanding the consequences of what you do are important. If you go through and figure out why it's important that you do certain things, this is going to happen to you. You do this set of things, this is going to happen to you. And that's good and bad. So if you can get understanding is the greatest thing in the world, and marriage teaches you that quicker than anything else. Anytime you've got to learn to communicate, and being selfish is not always good. Being greedy is not always good. Sharing is good. Yes, accepting is good. So understanding is the greatest thing in the world.
Final question. Your dad had such a great impact on you. What do you think he would think about all your success, all that you've accomplished, all the kids you've impacted over the years, from the Ryan Buchanans to the Jerry O'Neillys, just to borrow some more recent names? What do you think he would think of all your success?
He would think, he said, did you do what your mother said do? And is everybody pleased with what you've done? Have you done your best? And have you treated everybody like you would want them to treat you? That would be his say, and said, let's go to work now.
I think he'd be proud of you. I know he would.
Oh, I think he would be too, because that was one of the things always growing up. He said, do the best you can, treat people with respect, then everything will be good for you.
Hey, look, this is an interview I've wanted to do for a long time. I can't thank you enough for being a guest on our show.
Hey, man, it's been my pleasure. It really has been great visiting with you again.
I hope we get to do it again soon.
I hope so, too.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week for another episode of Audibles with Jason Scarborough.